Welcome back, Scary Dolls.
Welcome.
Hello. I'm Mandy.
I'm Ashley.
I'm Caro.
And we are Scary Not Scary Podcast.
Yay!
Yay!
Welcome back.
We took another weekend off. There's just been a lot going on in the pandemic.
True. Pandemic.
It's not going away.
I know.
We're right smack in the middle of it.
Dude, I got an email and I'm working remotely for the rest of the year until December.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. They sent
But
it
no
out.
Oh,
pants.
Well, we
No
got
pants for the rest of the year. No bra.
We got an email. We're required to wear goggles now with our masks.
Goggles?
We have
Yes.
to wear goggles and a mask. And oh my God, they fog up
We look
every
like Bill
2
Nye the
minutes.
Science Guy.
You need to send me a picture. I need to see this.
It's horrible. I feel like I can't breathe half the day at work.
Wait, even like when you're not around people?
So we only wear goggles like if we're
sometimes.
around patients,
Okay.
but we have
The
to
mask
have,
all
like,
day?
The mask is all day.
The mask is all day.
Like, it sucks because like answering the phones and you're just like breathing hot breath to your face. You just feel so gross.
And then people are like, what? What? And I'm like,
can't hear you.
okay, like just pull my mask down a little. Like, I'm sorry.
Like, that's how we sound on the phone.
Oh, damn.
They're all, what?
What? What? Is this Domino's? Is this Domino's?
Oh, man.
Yeah, guys. So obviously, we haven't really been posting as many episodes in a row, but you know, just a lot's been going on. We live in San Antonio, Texas, and in case you didn't know, we're like top 2 or top 3 in the U.S. with the most COVID cases. And me and Caro work at the hospital, and it's just been crazy,
Oh, yeah.
real crazy. So that's kind of why we've been taking breaks here and there because it's exhausting. And also, I have some news. Yay!
Oh, it's
Finally,
happening?
It's happening.
Oh, it's happening, you guys.
She's finally saying it.
Well, in case I don't think I have any listeners on my personal Facebook.
I think you might have like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Maybe like 1 or 2. Well, people that we don't know.
Oh.
But anyways, so Tim and I are expecting
Baby number 2.
baby number 2.
Yay!
And we just found out we're having a boy. So Sabrina's going to be a big sister. So yes, that's also why we haven't been recording because I've been sick all the time. Sorry.
Sabrina's going to be hand-me-down to me. And that's
Caro
it.
said that I'm secretly her surrogate.
Yeah.
So
She's my surrogate.
she gives me the baby when she doesn't feel like taking care of it anymore. But we're excited. We're super excited. So yeah, that's my news. And yay.
Welcome, baby.
Oh, do you want to talk about what we've been experiencing the past week? I don't think Ashley knows.
At work?
All of our paranormal stuff.
Oh my God.
Y'all got paranormal stuff?
It's just
have
random
no
stuff
idea.
that's been happening. Like one day I got to work and I always like get off and I wait for my friend Lena because we go in together and Mandy too sometimes. But oh yeah, this time you were there. I got off my car and then I got this like strong smell of blood. Like this, like I smelled like there was blood everywhere. And I'm like, oh, like it smells like blood. And Lena and Mandy were like, you're crazy, whatever. I was like, okay, whatever. And then later on, Lena was like, I smell blood. Like we've been smelling blood like at random places. What? Like just like scents have been following us. I don't know. It's weird.
So weird. So
Yeah.
then it was after lunch because we happened to eat lunch together that day. And I had like probably like 10, 15 minutes longer than they have.
Mm-hmm.
So they had already got up and left. And then my lunch was over, so I was getting ready to go clock back in. So instead of going by the cafeteria upstairs to clock back in, I like to walk through the ICU area because to me, it's faster. So mind you, the ICU area is just like this long hallway. It's super quiet. Like there's nobody around because the patients can't have any visitors. So like there's not as much traffic anymore.
Yeah.
Especially with all the policies with the hospital. So I'm walking down the hall through the ICU and I hear, hey you. And I stop and I turn around because I'm thinking like maybe it's somebody who's lost, right? And I can barely hear them because they have a mask. So I turn around, like, what? Because it literally sounded like they're right behind me. So I stop, I turn around, there's nobody there. I kind of walk back to check. There's nobody around, like nobody. So I keep walking and I hear, where are you going? And I stopped again and I turned around. I don't see anybody. I'm like, okay, like I'm hearing stuff. So then I clock back in and I'm coming back and I don't hear anything anymore. But I swear, like right before I turned the corner, I walked through like this cold, like gush of air. And it's the exact spot where I was hearing the whispering. It was so weird.
And weird. Also, I think it's weird that it was by the ICU. And that's where like people are critical and I'm not saying all our patients die in the ICU, but yeah,
it's possible.
Yes. Yeah. And that's where it happened. And I was like, oh, Mandy, lock your door. Not like the ghost is going to be like, oh, shit, I don't know the code. But,
no. Mm-mm.
And then I was actually, you don't know about this, and this just happened on Friday. So I went up to the kidney clinic. Oh, remember, you're all, what are you doing up here?
Oh, yeah.
I went up to the kidney clinic and I was with Jen and our coworker, Ashley. And we're just sitting there talking, and I'm talking to Jen, and in the corner of my eye, I turn, and like where the registration area is, they have like their own doors, like their offices in a different area, but it's all glass, so you can see inside. I saw somebody like put their hands up against the like mirror or like the glass and like put their face in there, like looking.
No.
And it happened like in a millisecond. And I looked and I turned back to Jen and she's like, what did you see?
Oh, poor Jen.
That face, you saw something. I'm like, no, nothing, just keep talking. What were you saying? Like,
we don't like to scare Jen.
And then she beat it out of me. She's like, what did you see? Tell me, what did you see? And then my coworker Ashley, she was like, I want to see it. Give me your powers.
Ashley.
Ew, no.
She's like complete opposite of you, Ashley. Like y'all are the opposite of each other.
She's brave, Ashley.
she's brave, Ashley.
Ew,
but
no, I don't like that.
The clinic has this feel like, I don't know, you could just tell there's something there. I was playing secretary for a couple days now, and it's just so weird because you're sitting up there, it's quiet, there's no patients, it's just a vibe.
It's eerie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also too, like I was thinking the other day, we're probably getting a lot more activity because a lot more people are going into the hospital and passing away and stuff. So
yeah,
there's a lot of that extra activity going on.
Also too, because they're not allowed to see like their family members and stuff, so maybe they're like lonely.
Maybe the ghosts are lonely and they're like, hey.
They didn't have like,
it's really sad.
Closure.
I'm gonna cry.
It sucks. Like it really sucks telling a family member like they can't come inside. There's a couple of times too where like I'm in the front and like there's somebody walking in with their family member and I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like you're not allowed to have any family members with you. And like they're on the verge of crying and it sucks so bad. Like, I did it.
Because when my mom was in the hospital for her foot, like we couldn't go in there obviously either. So we would have to like drop her off stuff. But the lady, when I was talking to her, or I think my mom was talking to her, that she was like, she saw some people like waiting like in the lobby, like they were family members. And she was like, yeah, but those are only for like the critical, like it's either life or death. Yeah. And so she was like, that's the only time that they can
they'll make
come
an
in
exception
here.
too for us, like end of life and stuff. Or like
if they're special, like they can't see, sometimes they'll allow someone to go in there with them and walk them around. But other than that, like,
it's really sad.
It's crazy.
I wish everything would go back to normal, but I think this is the new normal. Unfortunately,
masks everywhere too.
But yes, guys, sorry we kind of went dark there.
Dark and stormy.
But
now we're going to get kind of like, what? Cray. What the F?
So you already know us. And if you're new listeners, we like to mix things up. We are a paranormal, true crime, conspiracy podcast. And we mix things up every other episode. We don't have a pattern. We just like randomly pick topics. And yeah, that's just how we do things. So this episode, we're mixing things up again. And we are doing celebrity conspiracies.
Conspiracies.
Ooh. Because there's a lot of them out there.
Oh,
There is a lot of them out there.
There's a lot. We could probably do a part 2 if we really wanted to.
Part 2, part
Like
3, part 4.
like the one that you're doing. I had no idea there was a conspiracy against her.
Girl, there are so many.
Yeah.
So many. Like I could do a whole episode by myself.
You part 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
OMG. Okay, so did I just say OMG? I did.
You did.
Wow.
Sometimes I'm in my head and I'm like LOL and I'm like, ew.
Laugh out loud.
The one that I picked was Katy Perry. And the reason I picked this one is because, like, it's kind of like, okay, you could possibly believe it. But then on the other hand, you're like, no, y'all are just crazy. Like, this is ridiculous. So the theory is that Katy Perry is actually JonBenet Ramsey. So if y'all don't know who JonBenet Ramsey is, she is the little girl. She was a beauty pageant winner. She was like the most popular one, right? Like she was like
a child beauty queen.
Yeah, she was like one of those child beauty queens. And she ended up dying in Christmas in 1996. And at first they like tried to, I guess, disguise it as like a kidnapping. Like there was a ransom note and like her family was like, oh my God, like, I don't know. And then like the police just knew that something was off. Like it was just weird. Like they're like, this doesn't make any sense. The ransom note doesn't match like any other ransom notes that are usually written. Like her parents and her brother were like acting shady. And it seemed like her brother knew something about it. Like when they were talking to him, because he was young at the time too. Mm-hmm. But it just all seemed a little fishy. And they ended up, I think the dad found her in their basement. And that's when they found out that she was dead. Well, apparently she had died like through like strangulation or something like that when they did the autopsy. But everyone just kind of like seemed like, no, like there's no way, because there was no evidence whatsoever. Like there was no weapon. There was no like nothing that they could go off. So they're like, who the hell came and like killed her? And who would want to kill like a 6-year-old little girl? Like what the hell? So they were, of course, like pointing towards the parents. And that's when it started getting all cray-cray, right? Okay. So anyways, fast forward in 2008, when Katy Perry came out, all of this stuff started like circulating that she was the little girl, JonBenet Ramsey. And they were thinking that because a lot of the photographs that they kind of like put like 2 and 2 together, they kind of like overlap them. They're saying that her eyes, her cheekbones, and everything kind of match up to her. Mm-hmm. And when they did a photo of like what JonBenet Ramsey would look like when she was older, it kind of resembled Katy Perry. Like you could kind of see it. Mm-hmm. And then they also point to like her parents resemble JonBenet Ramsey's parents. They're saying that they kind of like look alike. That's how it started. Okay. So there was a lot of evidence, quote, quote, evidence that started coming out because YouTubers were the ones that kind of started bringing it to light. So they started making videos. They started putting like pictures and stuff together, and it actually like gained traction because it came out on E! So that's why people started thinking it was.
Seeing that.
Yeah, I remember seeing it too. And I was like, okay. But they covered it in 2016. And it even referenced that in one interview that she had done, I think it was Katy Perry, she had done an interview, and she kind of like makes a reference to JonBenet Ramsey, but she's kind of like making it like, because like JonBenet Ramsey was like, you know, like the pageant winner and like all this kind of stuff. So she was kind of like putting her success and fame to kind of like that. She was like, oh, well, I'm not technically like JonBenet Ramsey, like, you know what I mean? So it wasn't like, it was just saying like she was trying not to compare herself to her, but she was like, oh, well, yeah, like I'm famous and stuff, but I'm not as famous as JonBenet Ramsey. So a lot of people took that and were like, oh my God, like she referenced like JonBenet Ramsey and look, she kind of looks like her and blah, blah, blah. So they were kind of like, oh, it's a hidden thing that she freaking
she
said.
didn't deny or yeah.
Exactly.
I think they just like to poke celebrities, like to poke fun at it, right?
So what a lot of people also think is that it is connected to the Illuminati. So if y'all don't know what the Illuminati is, I am about to tell you. So the Illuminati actually references the Bavarian Illuminati. It's a secret society that operated only for a decade. It was from 1776 to 1785. And the organization was founded by Adam, I'm going to butcher this, Weishaupt. It's a German law professor. I can't say it. But he's the one that founded it, right? And so they were saying that the Illuminati is like, it refers to that. So basically, the Illuminati, they believe in like all these weird kind of things. So there's two different sides to it. So they do a lot of like odd rituals. They do a lot of like, well, first their symbol is an owl. Okay. So that's a little weird because owls are weird. I think owls are weird. But they're just like this weird, bizarre, like, they're supposed to be like all, oh, we're enlightened and we're like, you know, the geniuses and like all this kind of thing. But it's really, they're just kind of like weird. And they have a lot of like anti-clerical and anti-royal beliefs pretty much. And so a lot of people have been connected, like Beyonce and like a lot of celebrities are connected to the Illuminati, right? So basically what they're saying was that JonBenet Ramsey was sacrificed to the Illuminati in order to make her famous, therefore resurfacing as Katy Perry. But they're not saying like she was sacrificed as in like killing, like her, they're saying that her death was pretty much staged. So she was sacrificed only in like name. So they were saying like, she's not going to be that big in like pageantry and like all this kind of stuff. It's going to come to an end at one point. So they were saying her parents didn't want that to happen. They wanted it to continue. So they sacrificed her, quote unquote, to the Illuminati, but her name. So they staged her death. They staged her disappearance, like all that kind of stuff. And until 2008, that's when they put her back into the world as Katy Perry, pretty much, so that they could keep her fame and fortune continuing. So they only like, quote, killed JonBenet Ramsey to bring up Katy Perry.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
Mm-hmm. And like, if you look at like some of the pictures, yeah, I mean, it kind of looks like
Similar.
but I really don't think it's her. Yeah. Like, I don't think it's her. A lot of people also do think that she came back to life. So like they were saying, oh, she did actually die. Like maybe her parents did murder her because they became like all obsessed in this Illuminati stuff and went all like cray cray and killed her. But somehow like they were like, oh my God, like I didn't mean to kill my daughter. Like, holy shit. And they wanted to like backtrack. So the Illuminati helped them bring her back to life, but they couldn't be like, oh, JK, I didn't mean to kill my daughter. Like, you know, here she's back alive. Like they couldn't do that. So they were like, oh, we'll just bring her back.
Right? All these conspiracies.
It's weird. Like, I mean, I don't know. What do you think, guys? I don't know.
I know.
It's weird.
I feel like it would be like a slap in the face to JonBenet Ramsey. Like, hello, it's me. I'm my own person. Like, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And what's even weirder is because the Illuminati that everyone talks about supposedly like disappeared like thousands of years ago. So they're saying like how did it come back to life? Like how did their legend or, you know, the Illuminati like live on? But a lot of people obviously wrote about it in like history books. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people, it's kind of like what I think of like cults, how like cults can die and stuff, but there's still those people that believe in cults and want them to continue. Yeah. And they keep practicing it over and over and over. So that's what I think like the Illuminati is. I think of it as like a little cult, but I know there's like totally so many different things like with the Illuminati and like with this whole like Katy Perry thing and all like the celebrities that are supposedly like involved in it. I think like the biggest one is what Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They're like the big, they're like the leaders of it or whatever.
The leaders. Okay.
Yeah. But I'm just like, I don't know. I don't think Katy Perry is JonBenet Ramsey. I don't think she came back. I mean, you can see kind of they look alike, but I think they would look alike as in like relatives, but not as like her.
The same person.
I can see them being like long lost relatives or third, fourth, fifth cousins. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, let me show you this picture.
I do, though, think that something fishy did happen, and it was somebody in the family that killed her.
I honestly think it was her parents.
I think it was her brother, and the parents were scared and tried to cover it up.
See, they were saying that her brother was jealous of her because she was always getting attention. She was the favorite kind of like
Sibling.
child. Yeah. And she was the one getting all the fame and attention and like all this kind of stuff. So they were saying he got jealous and that they were like playing around and he accidentally like killed her or suffocated her or strangled her.
There's child killers.
There are.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I do agree with you. I think the parents tried to like,
Cover it up. Because they lost one child. They don't want to lose the other. So they're going to cover it up. But
exactly. That's why they were saying the ransom note like looked weird because it didn't match a lot of other ransoms.
You know what that reminds me of? The episode of Criminal Minds where they said that their little boy was reported and like they had a friend who was a police officer and he helped them stage it.
Yes.
And it turned out to be the oldest son. And they say at the end, we lost one son. We didn't want to lose another. So that's why they staged it and stuff. But it turned out that their oldest son was a sociopath.
Ugh.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's scary.
That's what pretty much a lot of other people are saying, that the little brother did it.
Didn't Dr. Phil interview the brother and he was acting all fishy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
but how could you like live with that?
I don't know.
Like
I don't think I could. I would turn myself in. My conscience is too big.
There's just some people that are able to do that though. Like,
yeah. Like one time I stole a toy from a yard sale and I made my mom take me to return it.
you did?
Yeah, it was a little McDonald's toy that they were selling for a quarter.
I tried stealing one of those big pencils from Hobby Lobby. My mom caught me and made me return it.
So see, they put these two pictures together.
Okay. I mean, I don't really see it.
Right? Like, I could kind of see it, like, in the eyes.
The eyebrows and the eyes. Okay.
Yeah.
But
and
the rest of the mouth is like...
There was one guy who said, like, oh, look, their eyebrows match. They're the same. And I was like, by the eyebrows, bro? Like, okay.
Those eyebrows.
They look related, but I don't think they're the same person.
Like, they always try and put, like, different pictures and stuff together, like, with
like
them.
curly hair.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
similar
like,
pictures.
and then let me try and find the drawing, because the drawing of her.
Well, if she is John Bonet, girl,
where you been at?
you're
all
with
these
Orlando
years?
Bloom. You go, girl. You're having his baby.
Dude, lucky ass hoe. You know what's one thing I never forget about the John Bonet Ramsey case is how when they did the like examination or whatever, they found that she was eating pineapples with milk. And I've always wanted to try that.
Pineapples with milk?
Yeah, like some people get like a bowl of pineapples and add milk, kind of like if it's cereal.
Oh, I've never heard of that. That sounds really good. Now
I know. I want to try it too. Oh, shit.
That's what they're saying she would look like. Now we'll post these so you guys can see them. But
I don't think that looks like Katy Perry.
I don't think that looks like her at all.
That's just like one.
But I
her mom,
do
though.
think that would
she does
be
look like her mom.
John Bonet Ramsey as an adult.
Yeah,
like for sure. Really pretty girl, just not Katy Perry.
She does though look like her mother though.
Yeah.
Did they enhance her to look older in that picture?
It's weird when
they did like those
like the age enhancers. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they tried to do that.
She would already wear makeup anyway
because they did another one. I don't think this one's that good.
Did you hear about the photographer? I know I'm kind of going off topic, but I'm in like these different. Don't judge me, guys. I'm in these groups on Facebook. They're called Darkest Minds and like all this stuff, and people talk about like the darkest crimes that like aren't on the news. Like they're kind of like in small towns and stuff. Anyways, so her photographer, I think the last person that did a photo shoot with her, he was actually selling her pictures right after she died. Like to people. And then come to find out years later, he was arrested for selling child pornography pictures. And like he would do that. He was like this huge photographer in like the children's pageant world. And like he would take pictures. And he was one of the last people to take pictures of John Bonet. And after she died, he was selling her pictures for like $500,000
trying to make money off of
it.
Unfortunately, a lot of people do that. Like there's this thing, like even sometimes like in the music world, like if they die, they're like, we got to put out like a best hits. We got to put out like a something because they would profit.
Oh yeah.
Selena. Yeah.
Unfortunately it's her dad though that does that.
Yeah.
Selena.
I don't know. I don't think Katy Perry is John Bonet, but
I don't think so either. But I mean, I think it's a good conspiracy though with the whole. I never heard of the Illuminati one.
Yeah, that's what they say that it is. The main thing is that it's connected to the Illuminati. And then I was like, okay, but if that's so, like, where has she been? And you would think she would remember some stuff
Yeah.
because she was 6.
Yeah.
Like if she was like 3 or 4, I could be like, okay, maybe, but she was 6.
Well, I did hear one where they said that somebody in the family didn't agree with the parents, like of them like flaunting her in like the pageants, and like she was kidnapped by another family member.
Mm-hmm.
They hid her, and then like she grew up to be a singer, and now she's Katy Perry. Like I've heard that one.
Did you
I've
see
heard
the
that one.
picture floating around recently that there was a picture of JonBenet Ramsey, and then in the back it's that
what's her name?
with
Epstein guy?
Epstein's chick,
yeah.
ex-girlfriend, whatever
Yeah. Her name.
I can never guess her name. It's
That whole
weird.
bag.
Kralin, something like that.
Something Maxwell, isn't it?
Yeah.
She was in the background. So what if she was?
There's a
trafficked or
lot of conspiracies
Yeah.
about that too. That she was.
I just finished the Netflix
I really
thing.
hope not, but doesn't it make you sick?
Yes, like me and Nick watched it, and I was just like, "What the?" I hate that he died or committed "quote unquote" suicide.
Yeah,
like
Grenaldine.
I do. Okay, totally off topic of the Katy Perry thing, but I do believe that one, the Epstein. I do believe that he was killed because he had a lot of dirt on a whole bunch of people, and I believe that they hired
he was
to kill
assassinated.
People. Yeah,
Definitely.
Ghislaine Maxwell. That was her name.
yes, her.
Celine.
Yeah, I think you had posted it or shared it on
Yeah.
Facebook or something, and I saw it, and I was like,
Like we just
Yeah,
finished
so
talking about.
I don't believe it. I don't believe Katy Perry is JonBenet Ramsey, but what do you guys think? Who knows? Let's find out.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Message us and let us know.
Yeah,
Better message us.
Oh, my turn.
Yes.
I was waiting for Catrick here. We have a guest named Catrick.
He's a cat.
He's a cat.
So if you hear movement, it's him.
Okay. This one makes me really sad, you guys. Okay. It makes me sad because this person that I'm about to talk about, I have always been a fan of her. I remember dancing around with my little sister to all her music. I mean, still do. She's iconic. I'm going to talk about Britney Spears.
I'm so excited for this one because I've never I haven't heard this one.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess like if you don't know Britney Spears at this point, you've probably been living under a rock. 'Cause
Who are you?
been everywhere. So the first conspiracy that I'm going to talk about is that she's a clone. So people are saying, yeah, that back in 2002, she was like on top of the world. She was with like Justin Timberlake. She had everything. And, she was selling all these albums. And then all of a sudden that came crashing down and she kind of disappeared for a while. And then the paparazzi would kind of find her doing like random stuff. Like she was always been very like controversial. Like that one shirt that said, remember she would wear a shirt. It said, "I'm a virgin," and then in little letters, "But this is an old shirt." Like very controversial. So in 2004, she came out with a dark album that she wrote and she recorded herself, but she did this without the record label knowing. One of the songs on that album was called Mona Lisa. And in the song, she talks about being cloned. And so the lyrics are, she's the original. She's unforgettable. She wants you to know she's been cloned. So that was on the song Mona Lisa. The only reason people heard this song, because it was never put out, is because one day she walked to some random radio station. She had her chihuahua in one hand and a CD in the other hand. And she goes and she knocks on the radio station and she's like, "I need you to play this song for me." And it was that one called Mona Lisa. So like when the record label found out like that she was putting out this song without them knowing, like they lost their shit and she wasn't allowed to put any albums out or anything like that anymore, like on her own.
Yeah.
And I think that she had named the album Original Doll. A few years after that, she made that song. I don't know if you have heard it, Break the Ice.
Yes.
You heard it? Oh my God, I love that song so much. But have you seen the video?
I haven't.
It's like a cartoon version of herself, like in a cloning facility. So she still got to put some sort of cloning out there, like cloning video out there. That was the first conspiracy theory, was that one, that she's a clone. The second one is about her voice. Britney Spears has a very signature baby voice. It's like very nasally. But back when she was a kid, there's a lot of videos of her singing and stuff, and she has like a very powerful voice, kind of like Christina Aguilera's. And there's like a lot of videos of her singing as a kid, and you can just tell that she had a deeper voice. People were saying that she started working with some producer who told her like the baby voice would make her more unique, and like started coaching her on how to sing in like that small little baby voice. But that voice is like supposedly like so hard to do that it kind of messed up her vocal cords like forever. So I was like thinking, and I'm like, dude, just try it. Like if you're singing and you're like singing in a baby voice for a long time, it hurts. But imagine doing it for years.
What?
I can imagine like it scratches it up.
Yeah. So imagine doing that for years, and then that's why she doesn't like sing live anymore.
Oh.
Because her voice is all messed up. Yeah. And then there was a video of her singing that boys song, you know, boys, on live, and it was all boys. And I'm like, like that sounds like me. Like, girl, like her poor voice is probably so messed up. So that's why she doesn't sing live anymore. And there's so much autotune in her albums because she messed up her voice. So I mean, there's a lot of other conspiracies, like she worked with George Bush and stuff like that, like going around. But like the one that's going on now, I don't know if I could call it a conspiracy because it's kind of like happening right before our eyes. So there's this thing called the Free Britney movement. I don't know if you've seen all this stuff going around. Britney is under legal, I can never say this word, conservatorship. I want to say that's how you say it. So after her breakdown, Britney's father, Jamie, put in an order to a legal conservatorship, which means that the person under guardianship is mentally unstable and unable to make decisions for herself. So her finances, for her career, anything like that has to go through her dad. So basically her dad holds all the power. That he holds all the power, and if she like doesn't follow his rules, he can put her in for like a psychiatric observation or something. Like
what?
Yeah,
you get her admitted.
Yeah, so this was decided over 12 years ago. She's not allowed to see her kids. Kevin Federline has like full custody, and she only has like visitations, but they're monitored. She can go shopping on her own. She has a weekly allowance of $1,500 a week, which, I mean, I would love that allowance.
I know. Damn.
But for her, like, that's not enough. Like, and it's so sad. Like, give me my money.
Like, it's her money. That's what she worked for.
So all purchases have to be approved by her dad. All of them. Her father gets paid as her guardian, so he gets a salary of $130,000 a year, just for being her conservator or whatever it's called.
But that's technically his job. That's her dad.
Yeah, and he gets an extra 1.5% out of all her performances. Like her whole Vegas thing, he got 1.5% of that, and that was like a $1 million.
Yeah, she did that for like years.
That was like millions of dollars right there. What's like 1.5% of millions of dollars? This man is making so much money off of her.
Oh, hell no, dude.
Out of her tours, out of her performances. She can't drive a car anymore. She can't get married. If she wanted to marry her boyfriend of, I don't know how many years, 16, 17, 18, 4 years, they can't get married unless the dad approves. So she's like, 38? So that's kind of freaking annoying. Like, so her interviews also, they have to be, let's say you want to interview Britney Spears. You have to turn in a script to the parents of what questions exactly you're going to ask Britney. So that way she can read him and prepare like a speech. Like they can't be like just random questions. Yeah. So her parents also ensure that her public speaking is monitored to social media. Like they're always going to be there for her. Her cell phone is monitored as well. And I think that's why they started the Free Britney movement. So if you see like her Instagrams, her TikToks, she looks different. Her hair looks different. Her hair extensions are like coming out. Her teeth look different. She has like a gap now, like mine. And she never had a gap. Like she looks medicated.
She was high.
One of them, like you said, this girl. Oh no, that was different. This girl commented on one of the videos, and I think Brittany was talking about like the LGBTQ community, and she's like, "Hi, I just want to thank." Like she was talking really fast and really weird, and somebody put, "If you need help, please wear yellow on the next video that you upload." And then somebody else commented, "Do a twirl." Something like that. So the next video, she comes in doing a twirl, wearing a yellow shirt, and she just like comes into frame. She models a little bit. She gets out. She comes back into frame.
That's the one where she's holding the bouquet,
and
right?
She's like holding a bouquet of flowers, and she's just showing off her yellow shirt. And so people are like freaking out, and there's a lot of like stuff going around too. Like I think I sent Mandy a video, and it was her boyfriend. Her boyfriend's like a personal trainer. They're both working out. She's in front and he's in the back, and they're recording, I guess, for like TikTok. And she looks like really sad. And then you see him, there's like music in the back, so you can't hear what they're saying, but you hear, like, you see his lips and it says like smile. And then she's off smiling after that. Like everything looks so like.
We could post that on our Facebook page too, so you guys can see. Yeah, it's crazy. He mouths to her, smile.
He's all smile.
There's even one too where like they go out in public together and everybody's taking pictures, and like she's smiling next to him and he tells her, "Kiss me," and she turns around and gives him a kiss.
I think I've seen that one where she just looks completely uncomfortable, and she's just like, okay, like she wants to get out of there, and she's like, I don't want to like be here. I saw that one. It made me awkward.
Yeah. So that's what's going on like right now recently in the Britney Spears, I think. So there's this hashtag going around like Free Britney, and everybody's talking about it, and
they're making TikToks too.
Yeah. So apparently she's being held like against her, not her will, but I guess
she can't do anything about it.
She can't even go to Starbucks and get a drink. Like on her own.
She's pretty much on house arrest. Like,
yeah,
she can't do anything.
And that's what they were saying. That's why her videos are always of her at her house modeling or dancing, because that's the only thing she can do right now. And then
so then that makes me think, like, because I look at her like her choice of wardrobe, and it's kind of like the same as when she was younger.
Yeah,
when she was like Britney Spears,
like the hips,
yeah.
Like,
and I mean, like, shorts. Do what you want to do, boo boo. But I'm just like, girl, you're like 38 years old now. Like you're not freaking 20 something, like you were before.
It's almost like it kind of makes me wonder too, because of how heavily she's medicated, if she thinks she's that age still, or she's back in that age or back in that time.
Or maybe like her dad's like, let's keep the Britney persona going. You need to dress like this. Or her boyfriend is like, well, you need to dress, like
and
this.
honestly, they're all getting paid. So what's it to them? Like,
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Well, I thought her dad didn't have, like, she wasn't under her dad's management anymore.
She still is.
She still is?
Yeah, it's been 12 years. And that's what some people are saying. Like, she can't be mentally unstable for 12 years. Like, that this is supposedly something that you give to older people, like a conservatorship.
Yeah.
I never know how to say that.
I do know that he's the reason why she can't have, like, if she visits her kids, like, it has to be supervised, because he had like an altercation with her oldest son. And I don't know if he like pushed him or hit him. The dad hit him or something. And like Kevin Federline was pissed. And so like now she like completely lost visitation of her kids. And like, that's why it has to be like somebody has to be with her and have to be monitored.
But there's like,
that's insane.
So much stuff. And even like now, like go to her TikTok, you can see them. You could see the videos. You could see how like different she is acting, and
her voice is different too. Like when she was on America's Got Talent, or I forgot that singing
show.
That singing show, like her voice wasn't tiny. She was talking normal, and then like you see her TikTok or her Instagram videos, and she's talking like this. Like it's just weird.
Yeah,
that one video freaked me out when she's talking about the one where she's wearing all black and her hair's all messed up, and she's talking about the LGBTQ community.
Yeah, that one.
At the end, she's all, baby, like making it weird, and I'm all, bitch, what? I mean, I don't mean to call her bitch because I love her, but like,
it was just weird.
I just feel so bad for her. Like, I want to grab her and hide her somewhere. And
well, her dancing videos are cringy too. I can't watch them.
A lot of her
I can't watch her dancing videos. It's cringe central.
I wonder, because you know how they say, what is that dancing called? Where like you dance and you make certain movements and it means something, almost like sign language, but it's like with dancing.
Like mime?
No.
I don't know what you're
I
talking
forgot what
about.
it's called. Oh my god. Anyways, so people were saying like her body language and like certain movements that she's giving out like a secret code of like what's going on, or like saying that she needs help or something like
We
that.
have to crack the code.
Yeah.
That's
But
crazy.
That's Britney Spears.
You would think after 12 years they'd be like, okay, let's reevaluate you. Let's see, where you're at.
She was trying to go back to court. I forgot. I didn't finish reading that part, but she was trying to go back to court for the judge to kind of like ease up a little, because like it's not fair that she's making all this money and she's not seeing all of it. It's all goes to her dad basically. And there was a survey because how people don't have shit to do or whatever. It was
pandemic.
like how many trips Britney took to Target in like a year, and it was like in a couple of something, because that's all she can afford is Target.
Yeah.
She goes to Target and Walmart and like TJ Maxx, like stuff like that, because that's all they give her money for. And so they were actually like researching how many times, or like keeping track of how many times she goes to Target. But I feel like maybe that's her only escape. Like us, that we're in a pandemic. Imagine how we feel, like, imagine how she feels. She only goes to like Target and she can't even get her frozen iced coffee or whatever. Her dad won't let her get fast food because she has to stay on a strict diet. So she can't get takeout.
That's so crazy.
That's horrible.
Yep.
Okay.
So you guys,
anybody listening,
hashtag free Britney.
Let her go back
your
to
social
court.
medias.
Let her get reevaluated. It's been 12 years.
Girl, come have
on.
some brisket down here in Texas.
Well, I know she was in rehab, and then she came out, and then she started posting all those Instagram photos. But I don't know, you could just tell she's all drugged up.
Yeah.
It looks bad.
It does.
I wonder like how she would be if she wasn't medicated. Like, you know what I mean? If she would at least be a little normal. I don't know.
Yeah.
Almost like she's a puppet.
She's a puppet for her family. She's a moneymaker.
It's so horrible.
Because stupid Zoe 101 got pregnant at 14. I'm still mad that show was canceled. Just kidding.
But it's crazy that no one, like, even her sister's not even like that either.
No one's doing anything about it.
I know. Like, no one's helping her.
That we know of.
That we know of.
Well, maybe they try and they get
could
shut
just
down.
be keeping it secret. You know what I mean?
Interpretive dance? Was that
Interpretive dance, yes.
That's what Nick just said. He texted.
I was like, what is it called? What is it called?
Nick, you're listening? What?
He texted and was like, interpretive dance.
Mind your business, Nick. But thank you.
And thanks for the nuggets. But yeah, that's
crazy.
And it makes me sad, and it makes me want to cry every time I think about it, because I just feel bad for her. Like, she was so successful.
I wonder like how her career would be if, because to me, in my opinion, her career went downhill when she married Kevin Federline.
Dude, that's what I was thinking. What a fuckboy.
I think he's the one that like got her all fucked up and
drugs.
Got her on drugs, like completely. If she would have stayed with Justin, like her life would have probably been completely different. And I know, like, as a mother, you can't regret your kids. You know what I mean? So she's probably like in her head, like, she can't regret her life. You cannot regret your kids. Mm-hmm. But her life could have been completely different. And isn't that who she cheated on him with, Kevin?
Yeah, I think so.
Right?
But oh yeah, that's why that Cry Me a River video came out. Girl.
Yeah, her life would have been completely different.
And come on, Justin is hunky. I've always loved his little ramen noodle curls.
Ramen noodle curls. I just want to put some
sriracha.
I know, some sriracha on it and eat it with.
Ew.
I was listening to Sexy Back the other day. I was so painting beautiful. And we were watching.
I love him.
Sexy Back.
Justin Timberlake, if you're listening. I'm just kidding.
Hey, boo. Hey. Oh my gosh.
Yes. That's crazy,
That's
dude.
it about Britney.
I feel like this episode's all about girl power because my conspiracy is also a female.
Girl power.
Ladies. Ladies.
So, I covered Avril Lavigne.
Oh, yes.
And
yes, one.
If you crazies out there don't know who Avril Lavigne is, you can't sit with us.
You were not emo growing up.
So in case you didn't know, I did a little summary of who she is. So she's a Canadian-French singer, songwriter, and actress. And I didn't know she was an actress. By the age of 15, she had appeared on stage with Shania Twain. And by 16, she had signed a 2-album recording contract with Astro Records worth more than $2 million.
Damn.
Her debut album, Let Go, came out in 2002, which included the lead single, Skater Boy.
He was a skater boy.
He's a skater boy. Okay. So basically, like, it emphasized, like, skater punk persona. And, like, she was known as, like, the pop punk queen of the 2000s. And she was the one that was, like, brought all the punk music out and, like, completely changed the way punk rock was. So she was like a huge influence in the 2000s. So rewind back to 2015, and I didn't know this, but BuzzFeed's Ryan Broderick brought all this light to the Brazilian blog spot called Avril Lavigne is Dead. And basically, the blogspot posts that in the early 2000s, after her album Let Go dropped, her grandfather had died. And she was really close to her grandfather. So this was probably, like in 2003? Because it came out, I think her album came out, what did I say, 2002? So this was probably like in the year 2003. So they said a year after Let Go came out, her grandfather had died. And she was really close to her grandfather. And she got super depressed. And she ended up killing herself. Well, because she signed a $2 million contract with the record label, they didn't want to lose out on that money or the profit. So they hired actress Melissa Vandella to take over her name, her life, her songs, everything.
What?
Yes. So there's like this huge theory out there that she was dead. They covered it up. It never hit the news. The family agreed to cover it up because they also said that they would give them profit of like what Melissa made off of pretending to be Avril Lavigne. And basically that's
Avril Lavigne.
Avril Lavigne is Melissa
my goodness.
Melissa Vanilla.
Vanilla. Melissa Vanilla.
Yeah, and I looked her up, and there really is an actress named Melissa Vandella. She was in like very small roles of like small movies, like no major big movies, but she looks like her twin, like
really
doppelganger, her twin. Yeah, this is her.
Gosh, I've seen what is it? Pictures.
Yeah,
of like Avril and
so
Melissa,
that's Melissa
side to side. Yeah, you see how she looks a little more feminine,
and that's Avril. So
no way.
If you look at Avril from 2002 to 2003, this is how she dressed and stuff.
Yeah.
And now this is how she is. And so they even compared like her moles that she has like on her arms. Crazy. People like
they dissect everything.
Dissect everything from her nose, her eyebrows, every freckle that she had on her face, like everything. So she has like these 3 freckles on her arms. Well, one of the freckles, and I think I have the picture here. Anyways, one of the freckles is like close to her armpit. The other one's like a little bit off center. And then the third one is like really up top. So when they show Melissa, the first freckle is away from the armpit, right dead center, and then right in the middle of like the shoulder. And you can tell like it kind of looks like it's airbrushed in, like it doesn't look real. And then Avril did a photo shoot where she's like holding her hand up and she has Melissa like written on her palm. So people are kind of like, what the hell? So are you Avril or are you Melissa? So apparently she was doing like some kind of tour in Brazil. And like people, somebody was doing like an interview with her and they told her about the conspiracy. So, hey, Avril, like, what do you think about these conspiracies that are going around? People are saying like you killed yourself and you're not really Avril and like you're really Melissa. Well, she never denied it. And yeah, she never did. All she said was, well, I'm here in Brazil. So I don't know what you want me to say. That's exactly what she said. Well, I'm here in Brazil.
And that's something Avril would say, though.
Yeah. But like they said, like even her voice is different. Like when she would sing, like they compare her voice from her album Let Go to like the music that she's making now. And I recently heard one of her new songs now, and like her voice is completely different. But you know, I get it. Like when people get older, your voices change.
Yeah.
But I think it's crazy. So there's another one. So there's 3 different versions, and it's crazy. So the second version is that Avril Lavigne didn't kill herself. She died of natural causes right after her career. I guess they said that one is that like the fortune and fame like became too much of her. She didn't expect to blow up the way she did. And like she died. and they didn't like really specify how she died. They just said she died. And then of course the record company hired Melissa. So it's kind of similar to the first conspiracy, but except she didn't kill herself. So this last one is kind of darker and it's kind of crazy. So this next one is that Melissa is actually her doppelganger. And Melissa tried making it as an actress, but she wasn't getting the fame and fortune that she wanted. She wasn't becoming famous the way she wanted. She wasn't getting like the big movies that she wanted to get. So therefore she joined the Illuminati. So the Illuminati said, well, you look like Avril Lavigne, so we'll give you an initiation. You have to kill Avril Lavigne and you could take her life and you can be rich and famous and get all the popularity you want.
Dang.
And supposedly they said that's what she did. She secretly killed Avril Lavigne and like took over her life.
What?
That's so
That
crazy.
reminds me of that story of the doppelganger one.
Yeah. It reminded me of Gatto's story a lot, but I'm like, holy shit. Like, but it's crazy how like,
I need to say that story on here again.
I know it was a really good story.
That was, I liked it.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, I don't know what to think because I've seen some, I've also researched Avril Lavigne because I'm weird and I always like conspiracy theories, but there was this one time where they showed like, what was it? It was like the music that she made now and before, and then the music she makes now and how it went from like, she's like goth, whatever. And then now it's all hi, like princessy, like, and that it's just totally different. But then also I'm like, okay, well, maybe she's trying to grow out of that.
Yeah,
You know?
like she was 16 when the first album dropped. So like people grow up, you know what I mean? I just think it's crazy how similar her and that girl Melissa look.
Yeah.
Wait, I need to see a close up. What's her name? Melissa what?
Melissa, hold on.
Vanilla?
Vanilla.
I don't know.
Melissa Vandella, Vandella.
Vandella.
Oh, look, this is the photo that she took that has the name Melissa on it.
Oh, yeah.
Let me see. Interesting.
Come on, Avril.
What?
And I looked up that blood spot, that blog spot, and like it's very interesting. Like they dissect everything from like Avril Lavigne in 2000 and then Avril Lavigne now. It's just crazy.
Well, I wonder like if because you know how like who is it? Like all those actresses that kind of look the same. Like Jessica Chastain.
And they're not related.
And they're not related at all, but they look so much alike.
Katy Perry and Zoe Deschanel, like all of the ones with the little bangs.
They were saying too that is part of like the Illuminati thing. Like a lot of the celebrities are basically just like copies and clones of each other, but slight differences. So what if like the Avril Lavigne or like this Melissa girl is like a clone of Avril Lavigne? Only slightly different.
Yeah. It could be. I just think it's crazy how similar they look.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, look at that.
That's very similar.
That's almost creepy ass. That's creepy. That's not almost creepy. That's creepy.
Like they have the same smile. It's weird.
That's really doppelganger. I don't know.
But if you look up Melissa Vandella, it only comes up with Avril. Like you can't see any of her movies or anything.
That's how much.
Yeah, how I found out was through like a YouTube video. Like somebody was able to like see like what movies she was in, and they said that they weren't popular movies. They were like low budget movies, indie movies. Like she wasn't like famous. She wasn't like a well-known famous actress or anything.
That sucks though. Also, like if this girl Melissa's and Avril are two different people. Like she's just living under Avril's shadow. You know?
Yeah.
Or what if like Avril was like, "Yo, I need a break."
Oh yeah, that too.
And so there's that possibility too. There is another one.
Back.
Yeah, there was another one that I read similar to Gatto's story that like the fame became too much for her. So she hired Melissa to take over like some of her interviews, photo shoots and stuff so she can take like a mental break. And then she was ready to come back, but Melissa didn't want her to come back. And that's why she died, or Melissa killed her.
Fucking Melissa
Killed her because she wanted to stay Avril. Because she always wanted to be rich and famous.
Yeah.
And she got that when she pretended to be her. And she killed her.
If that was me, I'd be like, look, just cut me a piece of that check, girl, and I can go back to my hole and you can be famous all you want. Like,
yeah.
Or there's also the other thing, because a lot of celebrities get plastic surgery.
Yeah.
What if she got plastic surgery?
I'm sure.
Therefore,
like
it's a little different. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that could be it too. Got hair extensions, dyed her hair blonde.
Because I feel like a lot of like the dark and stormy, with some exceptions, but a lot of dark and stormy artists, they like start off like making their own music, and then like people within the music industry are like, no, this sells, this is what needs to sell.
They start changing.
And they start
just like
changing.
Pink. Look at Pink when she first started.
Yeah,
and like you look at her now and you're like, what?
Yeah, exactly.
Girl. Dude, I love like the first Pink's like younger albums.
Yeah.
Like most men.
Remember, everybody thought she was a lesbian. She's like, I like men.
It was the hair.
She's like, I like grown men. I always remember that interview that she did.
I love her. Her
like,
raspy
so what's your
ass voice.
sexuality? She's like, what do you mean? And they're all, so do you like men or women? Men? Why? Because my hair?
Yeah.
Like, I like grown men meat.
I love her.
Creepy.
I don't know, guys. Let us know what you think. We'll be posting all of these pictures and videos on our Facebook page, so y'all can let us know what y'all think. I don't know. I don't know what to think.
It's so weird because it could go either way.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just because I have a messed up mind, and be like, it's her doppelganger, and like I totally want to go on the paranormal side and be like, yeah, her doppelganger was doppelganger was evil, wanted to take over her life.
Yeah.
But the other side, I do love Avril. Like, she was my girl growing up. So she got me through some hard times.
Yeah, her and Ashley Simpson.
Oh my god,
I was obsessed with.
I know.
Me and my little emo self listening to all that.
I even dressed like Avril. Like, I had like the bracelets and like,
I remember I got in trouble because I always wanted to wear black, and I had black nails. And I remember there was this shirt and it said Rebel, and it was like a tank top, and then I put like those fishnet shirts under it, and I was wearing it, and my dad's like, what are you wearing? And I'm like, I'm cool, Dad. Like, I'm so cool.
I'm a skater boy.
I was a skater girl. I'm wearing my etnies and I didn't even skate. Such a freaking fake.
No, I remember listening to like her dark and stormy songs, and it'd be like raining or something, and I put my head on the window and just pretend I'm in a music video.
You would. Hey, that album Let Go, though, that was a really good album.
Legit.
She has some good songs on there.
Dude, that Complicated song got me through a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I listened to it on repeat.
That's so crazy, right? Like, her album came out when we were in, what, 5th grade?
We were little, yeah.
5th grade. That's crazy how, like, much of an influence music can take on you.
And you still remember, like, the good old songs.
The OG songs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fun.
Yeah.
I love going through emo phases.
I'm always emo.
My parents are metalheads, so I grew up with like rock music and stuff. So whenever I listen to rap, my dad's like, "Why are you listening to that shit? Put some Metallica on." Okay.
It's weird. Like, it's weird how you just grow into your own person, you know?
Yeah.
Like, my mom is Mexican, so she obviously listens to like nothing but Spanish music. And my dad liked like the Beatles and Led Zeppelin, like stuff like that. He's Mexican too, but that's what he liked, like old classic rock and roll.
Yeah.
And then there's me with like Avenged Sevenfold and Metallica and Iron Maiden, and all my other families like, why are you like this? And I'm like,
why are you the way that you are?
You're
like,
a doppelganger.
Yeah. They like listen to like, you know, banda music. I mean, I listen to it too, but like, if you get into my car, what plays first is probably something rock.
Yeah.
Because that's how I am.
I was listening to Bon Jovi on the way over here.
Yeah.
Like random. Like I have like random stuff playing. It's so crazy.
I know.
Yeah, me too, guys. No, I don't.
No.
What
You listen to Jonas Brothers.
Yeah.
Oh.
Jonas Brothers, Katy Perry, some Beyonce, some like some like Avenged Sevenfold, but because of Drew.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was listening to Abandon All Ships the other day, and Sabrina was like, yeah, like banging her head. I was like, yeah, baby, you're going to like all the music.
That's right. Start 'em young.
I know. I listen to like Slipknot and stuff, and it's funny.
Slipknot.
Me too.
Takes me back. But yes,
We're cute.
those are our conspiracy theories.
Is there
Let us
any
know what
more
you
that
think.
y'all know? Like off the top of your head? I don't think.
I
I think there's so many. I can't even pinpoint
keep
one in
counting
my
them.
head.
I did read some about, okay, so y'all know I hate those stories, right? About like, I'm a huge advocate on like human trafficking,
The Wayfarer
exploiting
one?
like children. Like I'm a huge advocate for that. Like I feel like if I could work for like a
Thorn.
nonprofit organization, I would. If there was one here in San Antonio, I would do it.
Yeah.
But anyways, I was looking up Ashton Kutcher's speech that he did, because I don't know if y'all know, he has a foundation called Thorn, and they help like save the children that are exploited and stuff. So I was watching his I sent it to you, the video, and like there's this girl in the background, and like she's smirking the entire time he's talking about Thorn. He's talking about like what his day job. He was like, my day job is being a father of two, of a 2-month-old and a 2-year-old. He was like, my other day job is Thorn, and he's like explaining what the organization is, and like he starts talking about how he saw a 2-year-old that was so like in tune with like her environment that she thought that everything that she was doing was playtime. And like he starts getting like so emotional and
teary-eyed
so about it, right? The entire time there's this girl, this brunette, that's like sitting right behind him, and she's like smirk. She looks evil, like she's just like smirking the whole time. So I'm reading the comments, right? And people are talking about that brunette, saying that she's part of the sex trafficking organization. And then they start talking about how like the people that he's talking to, they're part of like the sex trafficking organization. And then I came across another one that said, no, I don't believe anything that comes out of his mouth because he's on the list. And I'm like, what list?
On the list.
So then they posted a link. So I clicked that link, and then his ex-wife, what's her name? Demi Moore. Demi Moore pops up, right? And they post a link about that Demi Moore's on the list. And I'm like, what list? Like, what the fuck are they talking about? So they're talking about Jeff Epstein's list.
Oh, bitch.
That supposedly him and Demi Moore visited the island that he had. And so I clicked the link, and so it popped up a video of Demi Moore of like 1990 something. It was ET, like the old ET, E-News, whatever. And it was like some little kid's birthday, and he has Down syndrome. I don't know how old he is, but I think he was, if I could like just remember his face, he looked about 9 or 10. And they're celebrating his birthday, and she kisses him, but like not like a cute peck, like like her mouth is moving like if she's trying to make out with him. It's weird. I need to show it to you. It's so weird. It grossed me out. So I read those comments, and I clicked onto another link, and like all of this stuff like started popping up. Yeah. So weird. So there's like this huge conspiracy that Demi Moore isn't really about like protecting the children. She's actually trying to stop Ashton from like, she tries to like complicate things, or I don't know, it's just like to keep an eye on them, and then she reports to like the bigger people that are a part of it. And
so
like,
while
all this
he's
other
trying
stuff.
to help, she's doing the opposite.
Supposedly, yeah. And then people said that he's on the list for Jeff Epstein's island. I think that's his name, right? Jeff Epstein's island. But I was like, well, if he visited the island, I wonder if it was like an undercover thing, because I know that's what he does. I don't know. I don't believe that he's...
Well, because there was a lot when I was watching.
I don't believe he's a bad person. I don't
either.
Thing, there was a lot of people that visited it, and they interviewed one of like the groundskeepers or the handyman, and he does say that there was a lot of people that visited it, but nothing, like they didn't engage in anything. Like they were literally just there for like business.
They even said like Ellen DeGeneres is like on the list that she visited the island, but I'm wondering if like he had like celebrity parties there, but they didn't know what was actually going on. Only certain people knew what was going on. You know what I mean? I don't know. We'll never know, I guess. The guy's dead. Yeah. But just the way he was emotional, like I watched it like 5 times and I cried every time. But like you could tell he's passionate about it, and I don't believe that he.
What if, like, okay, let's say Demi Moore is like involved in it or whatever. What if she wanted him to like be involved in it, like when they were married, told him like about it and like all this kind of stuff, and then he was like, "Nah, brah," and then now he's trying to like.
Well, if you look, so I looked on their website, Thorn, and she's one of the co-founders. Like he has her name listed on there as one of the co-founders.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just think like. What she did to that kid was wrong. That's and weird. It's kind of sad because it was on E! News and like nobody did anything about it. Like the cameramen were all ooh, like in the background, and when you look at it, you're like, really? Like you do that shit now, and like your ass is going to jail. Yeah. Like if I was that kid's parent, I would have beat her ass.
I would have killed her.
I would have beat her ass.
Like, excuse me.
Yeah.
Ripped her titties off.
So that's what I do at 2:00 in the morning.
That's crazy.
I fall into the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
There's so much stuff going on, you guys. Like so many conspiracies about a lot of things that we can't really like. We don't really have much time. We won't ever
know. Yeah. And to know, like, I mean, a lot of these people have the power, the money, the authority.
Scary. Like I was talking about it with my mom. I get real passionate about like protecting the kids, right? And I told my mom, I was like, I feel like not enough is happening to protect the children. Like there's too many children that are going missing. There's too many children that are being exploited, thrown into sex trafficking. Like it's horrible. It's fucking horrible. Yeah. Like I don't understand how there's not more being done. I mean, maybe there is. People are trying, but I feel like it's not enough.
I feel like they keep getting constantly blocked.
Yeah.
Like no matter how hard they try and what they're doing, there's always something that's going to keep blocking them. But they say
it's because of the rich and famous.
Yeah. I don't look up the Pizzagate when you have time, and then we'll probably do like an episode. We might.
I know.
There's so many things we can do episodes on with this. Like,
girl.
It's endless.
I didn't mean to like jump into it, guys, but I just that's just one of the ones that like popped up to my head because I just looked that up a few days ago.
That's crazy.
No, there's a lot of conspiracies out there.
I don't believe Ashton's a part of it, though. I really don't.
I don't think he is I don't believe he has a mean bone in his body. All I can think about when I think of him is Kelso.
I was literally just thinking that. I just think of Kelso.
Yeah.
God damn it, Jackie! I can't control the weather.
I love him.
That's my favorite one.
I love him and Mila Kunis together.
Yes.
Me too. They're my favorite couple.
But you need to see that like his speech, like just the way he gets emotional and like he starts crying.
I love him. I can't watch it because I'll cry with him.
Yeah.
But that girl, that brunette, she just looks evil.
Ugh.
I feel like some people are involved in good things, but to do bad. Like what if Ashton's getting all this data of where all these kids are,
and she's taking notes,
and sending it to the bad people so they can get there first.
And he said like he's talking about like his he's talking about the program that they have, but he's like, I'm not going to get into any details on how it works. He was like, but here's an example of like what we were able to accomplish.
Good for him.
Like he wouldn't get into any detail about it.
I love him. And
smart.
I think I don't know if y'all watch Kendall Ray, but if you watch some of her videos, she does like a shirt every month or like every so often that all the proceeds go to Thorn, and all her viewers have already raised like thousands and thousands of dollars for Thorn.
And she's doing one for Vanessa again.
Yeah, so I already bought 2 shirts.
We're gonna share it. We're gonna share it on our link. Yeah, all the proceeds, like 100%, is going towards the Guillen family.
Yeah, so I got 2 shirts. Because that whole story is just, I cried through the whole thing. Like that whole story is just so sad. You guys, if you don't know, just look up Vanessa Guillen. I'm sure
it's everywhere.
But yeah, buy a shirt from her because the money goes straight to her family, to her sister Maida or Melissa or something like that.
Yeah.
So buy a shirt.
Good. We'll share it on our Facebook.
Yeah.
And
what conspiracies do you guys know that you would like us to cover?
Lena drinking baby blood. We know Lena.
Yeah, Lena.
We know you like to drink baby blood. I'm just kidding.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Cray.
Let us know what conspiracies you find on celebrities, because we know there's a shit ton out there.
Or any other topics. Yeah. Anything.
We've been getting messages on some good topics.
On Instagram.
Yes.
Insta-ho.
So you can send us emails or messages on Instagram, Facebook, even Twitter. Gato's on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm on
She's
Twitter.
lonely, guys. Message her on Twitter.
I don't really have a lot of Twitter followers, actually.
It's scary at Scary Not Scary Podcast for all of our social media: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. What else do we have?
That's it.
That's it, right? Okay, yeah.
Bumble. Not just kidding.
Oh my god.
Plenty of fish. Tinder. I was all Tinder.
You're hungry. Chicken tenders.
Chicken tenders. You can also email us at scarynotScaryPodcast@gmail.com. You can check out our website, scarynotScaryPodcast.com. You can make sure to rate and review us on iTunes podcast app.
Yep.
Make sure to download the Podbean app. Follow us on there. You can also get all of our episodes on there as well, including live shows whenever we do one.
And they are on YouTube. Not all of them, but most.
Yeah, we're still trying to figure out how they got on YouTube. I don't know. I just upload and I publish, and somehow half of them are on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure
It's
it
the
out.
aliens. Thank you, guys. For all your help.
Have you seen that meme where it's like, I will hire you to abduct me?
Yeah. Please just take me.
Because Earth is ghetto.
Yeah, Earth is so ghetto.
But yeah, that's it. So until next time, remember to always stay scary.